Hello, happy people. I hope you guys are having just an absolutely amazing day today. So today for Video Game Wednesday, for you folks, I like to do reviews of older things. I've recently done a few RPGs that were done in 88 and then 99 in the Dungeons and Dragons world and that sort of thing. I did Pool of Radiance last week. Last week was Pool of Radiance week. I did the novelization too, and then I also did the review of the module Ruins of Adventure on Monday too. Thought that was great stuff. And that sort of a thing. And so I've regularly gone back and I also did Planescape Torment too from 99, and then I regularly go back and I check out these sorts of things. And then as a part of that, I also like to do some older video games and that sort of a thing, including things like Heroes of Might and Magic 3 from 99, or that sort of stuff too. I've also done some recent things like Crusader Kings 3, Stellaris, that sort of thing too. So since Pool of Radiance was the first RPG that was based on the Dungeons and Dragons IP back in 88, and I do think it's a little bit of a spiritual sequel to Baldur's Gate series. So let's knock out that trilogy. So we're going to be doing that ready today. So this is from 98 rather, and that sort of thing. So this was released in December 21st. When I was in college. It's a Enhanced Edition. It's by Beamdog Studios on Steam and GOG, and it was released on January 16th on Steam on 2013. I'll link you to both of those below on Steam and on GOG. It was made by BioWare and released by them and Interplay too. It's produced by Ray Mizuki, designed by James Olin, and programmed by Scott Greig. It's Greig, not Greg. And that sort of things. So it might be Krieg. The art is done by John Gallagher, and music by Michael Hoving. Great there too. I love lots of the art and the music too. Its Steam reviews on the extended edition are at 92%, and the Metacritic is also very, very high too, at 91%. And 92% also on GameRankings.com too, on the two aggregate sites. Alrighty, so like I said earlier, you can buy this on Steam right now and GOG too for $20. I'll link it to you in the links below, just so you guys can check it out. So this is a take on the then current second edition, and it's also set in the Forgotten Realms, just like Pool of Radiance and Gold Box stuff were too. So it's good stuff. Love it lots. Put them on the map in a major way. All right, so you start here with a great secret character. You are an orphan that's being raised by Gorion in the library of Villa of Candlekeep with another adopted girl who's a thief. A younger girl, she's sort of like your adopted sister. That sort of thing. Her name is Emmeline. That sort of thing. And then you can create your character, and it can be anything in a party of up to 6. It's popular and beloved choices in the party are Ranger Minsk and his miniaturized giant space hamster Boo, and then also the mage he protects is down here pretty good too, or the married harpers that you are recommended to go out there and grab too, named Jahira, who is the druid, and her fighter buddy Khalid, also pretty good too. Also below it is the Drow cleric Viconia Devere too. Lots of people love her. But I also particularly like and regularly will get the Tempest cleric Branwyn, and then a paladin Agentis Ivastar. Love them lots. You have an open world RPG here. You can go anywhere you want to as long as the plot allows it. Check out as much stuff as you want. Nothing will stop you, except your death, obviously, but nothing else will stop you. You can reduce dozens of NPCs and level them up too. It's brilliant. Very well done. You can also play as any alignment too. I also love the new ones that are introduced in the Enhanced Edition, and I almost always have Nira, the Wild Mage, in my party, and Dorn is awesome for an evil line party, so he's an absolute essential there. So eventually you'll get to the city and have loads of great things, lots of exploring to do there too, once that it's opened up with later on in the story. So like I mentioned before, this does feel like a spiritual sequel to Pools of Radiance in the gold box from SSI, since you can keep your party from one game to the next. It's also a brilliant take on that genre. There's a lot of great things there too. Alright, so I played this heavily this summer. It came out for hours and hours and hours and stayed up late. I played over as a bard. which is one of my favorite characters in 2nd edition. And that sort of thing. I've grown mostly out of it by regularly running them, or swashbucklers, or and such, and that sort of thing. Loved it lots. Just a heads up. So you can play. You can be. If I can beat it with hard, you can beat with anything. All right. So this game is a turn-based RPG that really pushed that genre forward and gives you loads of clones. Many a BG clone was made. Some of them pretty good too. So you have a great AD&D conversion here, and it's one of my favorite RPGs from that rules set ever. So this secret here that I mentioned earlier, what your secret is to your ward status to Gorion, is very, very strong stuff as an orphan and stuff too. So I'm not going to tell you that, but I think it's on the level of Knights of the Republic. Spoilers in the comments below too, please. All right, so this is a great game. As soon as it came out, you can feel a little slow at times though, because you have to physically click out, particularly if you've beaten a dungeon like the mines or something like that, and you have to click back up and run back and run back and run back. For example, Magic 6 that I reviewed earlier, the Mandate of Heaven from earlier this year, had town portal spells. So you could just immediately go to a town and cast that spell, and then the nearest one, and then heal up, and that sort of thing, and then go back to the dungeon if that's what you needed to do, or just finish it out. You could definitely do that easily, and that sort of thing. And I wish it had some of those sort of from about 6 months previous, those sorts of life good stuff, and that sort of thing. But I regularly go back and play this again and again. And that sort of thing. It's good stuff. Love it lots. 10 out of 10. So enjoy it much if you haven't played it. And if you have and you just want to go back and try it out again, you can also do that too. I'm not going to lose any sleep. So that's 1998. This is from December for the North American edition. And some of the other ones were later. And moved it into 99 by Interplay. For you folks, what did you think about it? Have you played it? What did you think about it? Again, just let me know what your thoughts are. Be happy to do that for you folks. So I do this as a pastime. I'm not a trained critic, right, or any other stuff, right? I'm just a fan. I didn't get the game for free or anything like that, right? I'm just a fan, right? So your opinion is going to be just as valid, right, as mine is. So let me know what you thought of it. Again, I'll link you to it in either the Steam or the GOG versions if you haven't played it in a while, or if you just want to check it out. I'll do Baldur's Gate 2 and then Baldur's Gate 3 the next couple of weeks too. And then there you are. Thanks again. All right, so as a reminder, as I just mentioned, I did Video Game Wednesdays. Lots of these older video games recently. I've done the movies from 2005, and I've done things like Evil Genius 1 from the early 90s, from the 2000s. I also did Star Control 2 recently, too, and that sort of thing. So I do lots of older games, as well as things like I mentioned before, like CK3 or EU4 and Stellaris, that sort of thing, by Paradox. Alrighty, so there you are. Do you want me to also? I could do Siege of Dragon Spear by Beamdog 2 if you wanted me to. I know it's a little controversial, but I think it's pretty good if you wanted me to. So just let me know if you want me to do that too after I finish the trilogy. Alrighty, and so there you are. And then like I mentioned before, on Mondays I do reviews of older things, typically either older RPGs or like Dungeons & Dragons, or AD&D, or Buck Me Too, or just things like the BattleTech board game and that sort of thing. Right now I'm reviewing modules for Dungeons & Dragons. I'm currently in the Back Me series, in the basics. I started off recently with B1, In Search of the Unknown by Mike Carr, and then B2, The Keep on the Borderlands by Gary Gygax. I just finished B5, by Douglas Niles Horror on the Hill. Next will be B6. And that sort of thing. Also recently did the Giant, it's hot, and the series, the 7 module series from Against the Giants to introduce the Drow and put the Indian Underdog and put them on the map in a major way by Gary Gygax in Against the Giants and the Drow 2. Finished with Q1. I've also done like the Assassin's Not, so like that. Just check them out. Also on Friday I do top 10s and that sort of thing, or do some stuff recently. I've done tons of movies typically. And that sort of thing. I just got back to that too after taking 5 weeks off for mini series or musics and artists and albums and that sort of thing, by comics and that sort of thing, and then authors. So now I'm back in I just finished out the top 10 well, all my Star Wars 11 theatrical films ranked. Next will be my Star Trek shows ranked. And that sort of a thing. So check that out too. On Saturday, I do something I call Serial Saturday, which is dedicated to the old movie serials that we might have, that are heavily influential on us, but we forgot about. That storytelling, that method, as well as TV serials too, like Doctor Who from the first couple of seasons in the 60s, or I've just recently gone back and doing a couple of Tarzan series. I've also done Buck Rogers, I've done Flash Gordon, I've done some Tarzan stuff recently too, and I just knocked out on Saturday and Sunday. It was pretty long. It's like 4.5 hours long. It's from 1939. It's called Flying G-Man. It's in the flying pulp, and it was hugely influential. That sort of thing. And from Black Hawk comic, which would be released a couple of years later. And that sort of thing. So you can check that out too. And then the other 3 days a week, I do older things. Typically, we'll read the 3 genres that we cover: science fiction and fantasy and horror. So if you like those older things, great, then welcome to the channel. I think you'll enjoy your time here much. Have a seat. Right? All right. And then do all the YouTube stuff, right? Hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell icon, and share. And again, the bell to be notified of my 7 videos, and then share. Like and watch and share, though, are the key ways to grow this channel. Alrighty, so there you are. And thank you. So as a reminder, as you can tell from this channel, it's where the passion of it comes from. It's also where the name comes from too. Although it's the worst thing about new books. That's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was they kept us from reading the old ones, right? And it's definitely some older stuff that we might have forgotten about in our passion for the new book, the new video game in this case, and the new movie, those sorts of things. We've forgotten to go check out those older things, right? And those older things are oftentimes just as good, or sometimes better than that. Not that the news are bad, they're not, right? But they're standing on the shoulders of giants, right? So let's check out those giants, right? And we oftentimes forget about that, right? Video games too. Alrighty, so there you are. It's the passion of the channel. It's also where my if you're familiar with Strengths Quest, it's a positive psychology approach to as a personality type. An indicator of my number 1 strength. One that is context. I appreciate something more I watch it. For example, in Gary Gygax's first edition Dungeons and Dragons, he has in the Dungeon Master's Guide, he has an appendix N where he lists all the different influences on the game, kind of like a reference check. Right, so I love going back and reading those and then getting a greater appreciation for that, for the work that he did. Makes sense? So that's also my strength in action too. And if that's your strength too, welcome to the seat. All right, and there you are. I want to thank you so very, very much, for just taking some time out of your day and just investing it, right, and watching my videos, because we all have so many things, right, that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions too. So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it so very, very much. Thanks again, and have an amazing day.